Welcome to the Teaching Autism and Special Education Community Podcast. Hi, I'm Nikki, a passionate special educator, autism advocate, resource creator with over a decade of experience, and you may know me as the face behind Teaching Autism. This podcast is your go-to place for practical tips, hands-on strategies, and inspiring and funny stories to support special educators all around the world, whether it's building independence, creating engaging lessons, or finding that elusive work-life balance. I'm here to help you thrive inside and outside of the classroom. Let's dive into today's episode and make a difference together. Hey friend, welcome back to the Teaching Autism podcast. If you're new here, I'm Nikki, and today we are talking all about one of my favorite ways to support IEP goals. And spoiler alert, it does not involve a single worksheet. If you're a special ed teacher, especially if you're new or feeling overwhelmed, this episode is for you. I'm going to break down how I use task boxes to hit a wide range of IEP goals, from fine motor to academics, without resorting to piles of paper or a never-ending laminating session. I'm going to walk you through exactly how I match task boxes to student goals, how I track progress, and how I make it all low prep, reusable, and easy to organize. And yes, I'll be sharing how my task box library can totally take the guesswork out of all of this. So let's dive straight in. Okay, so first, why task boxes over worksheets? I'm going to start with this. Worksheets are not evil. I use them occasionally, but for my students, especially those who are maybe nonverbal or have limited fine motor skills or who learn best with visuals and hands-on materials, worksheets just don't cut it. So here's what I love about task boxes instead. They're visual, they're tactile, they're reusable. They build independence, they can easily be leveled, they support structured teach-style work systems, and best of all, they actually engage my students because they're hands-on learning. When I use a task box, I'm giving my students the chance to physically interact with their learning. They are matching, they're sorting, they're clipping, they're dabbing, they're building, they're connecting, and that physical engagement makes such a difference. Plus, let's be honest, how many worksheets end up crumpled, scribbled, or lost in a backpack? Exactly. So how do I actually use task boxes to target IEP goals? So let's break it down by goal area. So first up, fine motor goals. If you've got a student working on pincer grasp, bilateral coordination, or hand strength, I would pull out boxes like hole punch counting, tweezers with pom-poms, building with snap cubes, Play-Doh letter and shape forming, cutting strips, or one of my students' favourite, cutting the monster's hair. That task box is always a popular one. So the beauty of this is these task boxes are still goal focused, but it doesn't feel like therapy and work. It feels fun, and the students are still building their skills. And because these task boxes are visual and clear, students often know exactly what to do, which increases their confidence and independence. Next up, literacy goals. So if a student's IEP includes goals like identifying letters, spelling CVC words, or sorting beginning sounds, I would use task boxes like uppercase to lowercase matching, CVC word puzzles, beginning sound clip cards, sentence building with visuals, matching sight words to images. And I love using these in morning routines or independent work time. They're perfect for reinforcing letter sound relationships without drilling flashcards. And number 3, math goals. So many IEPs include goals like counting, number ID, one-to-one correspondence, or shape recognition. So here's what I use. Counting bears, 10-frame matching, shape sorting with real-life images, number formation with Play-Doh, putting candles on the cake for quantity practice, and you can even scale these, like counting 1 to 5 for one student and 1 to 20 for another, using the same style of task box. The key here is that it's hands-on, and we're reinforcing math concepts without a worksheet in sight. 4, life skills and functional goals. If you've been here a while, you know that I am a huge believer in embedding functional learning into every part of the day. For life skill goals, I use things like sorting clean and dirty laundry, matching items to rooms of the house, going shopping, following a grocery list, paying for groceries, sorting community helpers, packing a lunchbox, functional money skills. Task boxes give me a way to target real-world learning in a way that feels meaningful and age-appropriate without needing a full life skills lab. And 5, social and emotional goals. This is a big one, and honestly, it's overlooked in so many classrooms. Task boxes can support identifying feelings and matching facial expressions, sorting safe and unsafe choices, matching regulation strategies, scenario cards for decision making. It gives us a way to practice social and emotional learning in a calm, consistent way, and students get that repeated exposure they need. So, where do I get my task boxes? And hint, I do not start from scratch every time. Okay, real talk. I do not have time to create 20, 30, 40 new task boxes from scratch every month. That's why I created my task box library, and this is a library that I've been adding to for over 10 years now. And honestly, it's the tool that keeps me from losing my mind during IEP season. And here's what's inside right now. So there's over 1,100 task boxes ready to print. They're organized by theme, month, and skill area. They have visual covers for each task box. There's training modules for staff on how to use, store, and introduce task boxes. And there's data and assessment tools so you can track progress without reinventing the wheel. I can search by goal, say counting to 10 or initial sounds, and boom, I've got a task box ready to go that directly targets that student's IEP objective. I'm going to link it in the show notes for you to learn more about it, but seriously, it is going to save you so much time. And the best part, once you have a task box printed and prepped, it's ready to be used every year. Now, let's talk quickly about data, because it's so important with IEPs. I keep this super simple. I use a taskbox tracking sheet, which is also included in my taskbox library. And each time a student completes a taskbox, I record the level of independence. So, for an example, independent with prompting, needed full support. I record the accuracy, for example, 4 out of 5 correct. And I'll include notes for the next steps. You don't need 10-page binders for each student. A quick checkbox or comment is enough, especially if it's done consistently. So now for some hot tips for getting started. If you are just starting to use task boxes to support IEP goals, here are my top tips. Number 1, start with 5 to 10 task boxes per student. That's enough to rotate and keep things fresh. 2, keep your storage simple. Use rainbow photo cases. You've heard me rave about these before, with labeled covers and skill tags. 3, match boxes to specific IEP goals, not just grade level. Make sure they're targeting the actual skill. 4, use during natural routines. Independent work, calm down time, morning bins or centres. Don't overthink the schedule. 5, reuse what works. If a student mastered a goal last term, use the same box with more challenge or give it to another student working on the same skill. Task boxes are such a powerful way to support IEP goals, especially when you want to move beyond and away from worksheets. They're reusable, they're visual, they're easy to organize, they're hands-on, and best of all, they let students build real independence while you track progress in a low-stress way. Whether you're supporting counting, spelling, life skills, or regulation, there is a task box for that. And if you're ready to save yourself a ton of time, come check out the Taskbox library. I've linked it in the show notes. It's your shortcut to hundreds of skill-based task boxes already made for you. You will never scramble for a last-minute IEP activity again, I promise. Thanks for hanging out with me today. I hope this gave you some ideas and some relief, because supporting IEPs should not feel like a constant uphill climb. Let me know what taskbox skills you're working on. Tag me at Teaching Autism or send me a DM. I love seeing how you use them in your classroom. Until next time, breathe deep, label your task boxes, and go crush those IEP goals. You've got this.